This podcast was originally live-streamed on the NonSequitur Show on YouTube. New episodes air weekdays, Monday through Friday, at 8 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/NonSequitur Show. Make sure you never miss a live stream by visiting www.nonsecshow.com/schedule. For the latest news, polls and updates throughout the day, follow us on Twitter at NonSecShow or Facebook.com/NonSecShow. That's NonSeq Show. If you'd like to get exclusive content, bi-weekly private hangouts with Kyle and Steve, backstage access to chat with guests after shows hosted on your channel and much more, become a Patreon saint of NonSequitur. It ensures we continue to improve our show and brings you into the process at the same time. Visit patreon.com/NonSequitur today while the limited spots are still available.
The following podcast is intended for those who believe bold ideas are righteous, unique perspectives are gospel, and strong opinions are sacred. This is Non-Sequitur. Never follow. And now, here are your hosts, Kyle Curtis and Steve McRae.
Hey, welcome everybody to Non-Sequitur Show. I want you to introduce the new look Kyle has. He's decided to change his hairstyle, grow a little facial hair. Kyle, I'm loving the look, dude. It is. I think it's modern. I think it's updated. You look less gay, but that's your choice. But how are you, by the way?
Doing pretty good. I mean, I appreciate it. Just trying it out for a couple of days. You know, I hear people are into the dad bod thing. I think I went a little overboard, but you know.
Yeah, the Bob. You know what? I think I prefer the old style. But anyways, this isn't Kyle. Kyle, unfortunately, isn't feeling well. He's a little under the weather and sick. So we got Lion here. He's a Patreon of the channel. He's going to help me co-host this really kind of different and out of the way kind of a topic, I think, which is Two Girls, One Mic, Porncast, which is actually a podcast that's called a Porncast, correct?
Indeed.
Correct. Play on words there. Awesome. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you two lovely ladies actually watch porn, but actually rate the, let's just say, non-sexualized portions of the thing, or do you rate it all? Fill me in on how this actually works here.
I would say, and Alice, let me know if you disagree. I'd say we do rate the sexual portions as well, but our focus is the plot.
Awesome.
Correct.
Awesome. So,
Yeah.
so you're Yvette, right? You're also known as SciBabe,
Indeed.
debunker of pseudoscience. Very good. We love that.
It's what I do for funsies and for pay.
And occasionally you can tell a dirty joke or two.
I'm allowed to say cunt. It's a good job if you can get it.
Man, and you get paid for that. You know what? We need to talk and trade in places, I think.
Yeah, getting paid to tell people they're full of shit. It's great work if you can find it.
I would love to. Actually, that's kind of what I do when I'm not a non-sequitur, actually. And we got Alice Vaughn. You're actually the creator of Galaxy Bath Bombs.
Yeah, but I'm more
true?
well known for yes, I am. But I'm more well known for my other product, Offensive Crayons.
Offensive crayons. Tell us what offensive crayon. Oh, okay, wait. Are these like crayon names that
I
have like
three
dirty names
boxes
to
of
them?
them right in front of me. I can read some of
Yes,
the colors
I want
off.
to see.
Hold on, let me
Oh,
grab
this is
them.
gonna be interesting.
Jeez. This is going to
So
be awesome.
they have-
I want to know what some of these colors are.
So they're crayons with fun names on them. Everything from Miscarriage Maroon to Boner Pale Blue. White
boy.
Privilege.
Right, so the holiday edition,
Oh,
and I know that
okay. You're gonna
my
have to read
video
it.
is not coming in. All right,
Okay.
so it just
Yeah.
they have like a little Santa hat on the thing, but all it says is holiday edition. The original, which here we go. And now the
Okay.
best one is the political edition that just came out. Red, white, and fuck you.
That's my motto as a American. Yes, red, white, and fuck you.
Yeah, politics in a nutshell, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
and I try to be an equal opportunity offender. So,
oh yeah, it's
Yeah, but these
political
crayons, I guess,
one is.
Go ahead.
No one's off limits on it.
These crayons are not for children, I assume, right?
Well, it
I mean,
depends on who
blind-
your parents
blind-
are.
And blind children can use them.
Yeah, they won't be able to read it.
How,
And by the way, I guess by the way, your name is Ion, right? Not Lion. I mispronounced it because the wrong name on it.
Oh yeah,
Is it
it's Ion.
Okay. I want to clarify that for our viewers there. So let's get back to the crayons here real quick because I'm so interested in it.
taxation is, let's see.
This is
Taxation is
fascinating to me.
theft yellow. Let's see. Mainstream media clickbait coral. Let's see. Citizens United green. There are some good ones in this one. Let's see. This is probably my favorite. Everyone's a racist except me.
It's
That's
white.
those are brilliant.
Yeah,
Those are
it's.
definitely
I mean, I
brilliant.
liked. In the original pack, the white one was privileged. So I mean, I'm just saying, we go after ourselves. We go after liberal things. We go after not so liberal things, and everything in between. So it's just, if it's out there, we find a way to fucking poke at it. And by we, I mean Alice and me occasionally contributing one sentence.
I bet you guys
Hey,
would
man.
love to play Cards Against Humanity with you guys. It'd be great.
Oh, that would be deadly.
I have definitely won most horrible person while playing Cards Against Humanity multiple times, so that is not surprising.
It's
mean,
why
best
she's
title
my
to
best
get, right?
friend.
I like the fact that you guys said you were equal opportunity offenders because I happen to like comedy and I'm old school. I'm one of those people that I think offense is taken, and I think that comedy shouldn't really be comedy should be without bounds. I don't think that people should be limited to what they find to be funny. If they don't think something is funny, they don't listen to it. Humor is subjective, and so I say a lot of things that I know people can get upset with, and even though I think it's funny, if they don't, so be it.
I think
agree
humor,
completely.
especially offensive humor, is one of those things where it's exceptionally controversial because, as you mentioned, it's subjective. Everyone has their own line and limits, but it's really important because there's so many topics that people can't discuss, empathize, and or approach unless they can do it through a venue of comedy. And plus, I mean,
Right.
if we can't joke about things, then we can't really talk about them. It was funny. I was on a forum the other day, and someone said to me, "No, all Holocaust jokes are offensive, every single one of them." And the person I knew for a fact because my great crayon and your audience, half of them are going to tune out after they hear this one. The
Look,
great
I'm her
crayon is called-
designated Jew. I
Hey, Mazel
approved
tov.
of this.
Mazel
Okay,
tov.
exactly.
My mom's Jewish. I'm
So-
Jewish. Yeah.
Look,
Go
it was
for it.
passed
So
through her sensitivity filter.
So the great
Go for
crayon is called Auschwitz Ash. And
Oh, geez.
I had relatives who died in the Holocaust. I'm just saying.
I did
And,
too.
and I
So
still thought the crayon was hilarious.
look, when that person on that forum, they were bitching about no one can make jokes about the Holocaust. I knew for a fucking fact that they laughed at that joke. So I first off called them out. I was like, first off, you laughed at that crayon. Second of all, I'll give you a gold star for trying.
yeah, see, I believe that comedy is a therapeutic device, and I believe that we know these topics are very sensitive. When we talk about very, very sensitive topics all the time, and we're not making light of the subject, but what it is these are coping mechanisms. When people laugh at certain things,
Exactly.
obviously, the whole thing with the Holocaust was just atrocious. One of the worst events in the history of humankind.
Exactly.
But by having comedy, this is one of the ways that some people cope with these things. I'm one of those people,
And
so
we can
I wouldn't take
continue to
offense
have
like that because it's just not the intent. Right.
And I gave a talk last year, and somebody came up. It's part of it was saying, humor is a great way to approach some of these subjects that we can't get people to come around on, that are hard to broach. And I used the example of The Producers because there are other movies. I'm sorry, this went to not look. I lost Godwin's Law quickly, but work with me on this.
Yeah,
we were already
real
at Auschwitz ass, so I feel like it's a short jump to Hitler. But I said, there are short, very short.
The obligatory
I
jump,
feel-
though, right?
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, exactly.
It was
It's
it was
a
gonna
logical
get
step.
that
Go ahead.
anyway. in my Jewish grandmother's honor, I had to do this. But she, there was, there are a lot of movies that talk about, these subjects that kind of glamorize or make Nazis look kind of badass and kind of sexy. However, you look at the producers and you can take this awful force and reduce it down to we're laughing at you with your own words. And somebody came up to me from the audience afterwards and said, my grandmother was a Holocaust survivor. And the first time she wouldn't ever say a word about it. The first time she could talk about it was after watching the producers, because suddenly it made it okay. It made it somehow okay to laugh at it and then process it. So humor helps.
Yeah, it kind of breaks that glass, kind of helps get that bridge going to, not acceptance, but being able to at least, move on a little bit, address it. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, you're not approving of the actions, obviously. But how'd you get stuck with the Gentile?
It's she was lost. I found her lost, alone, and wandering through the desert, and I'm like, you can be one of us if you need to, sweetheart. So that's how that.
I have 0.7% Jew in me. Excuse you.
Oh, okay. So it's not a Shannon for the Goyim, if you know what that is. Okay.
I'm more Southeast Asian than she is Jew. At least according to
Ian,
who knows?
Ian, you're the only non-Jew in here, man. Welcome. Let me ask you this. Just say
pressure now.
Yeah. Before you get into your podcasting, there's one other movie that I will bring to your attention. Have you ever watched The Aristocrats?
We know everyone involved on that.
Okay.
I was just having dinner last night with Jackie Martling.
Was she one of the comedians in the
Jackie
movie?
the Joke Man Martling?
Jackie
sounds familiar, but which one was she?
20 years.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Howard Stern, gotcha. See, like that movie, I didn't think was funny, right? But some people did, right? I get the entire concept, the over meta narrative of the movie, right? And I agree that with the meta narrative, but of course, this wasn't my cup of tea, right? But some people thought it was funny, right? And it was one of those vile, disgusting, dirtiest all-time things there is.
And that's the point
as far
of
as
it.
That's the point of it, right? Mm-hmm. That's the whole point of it, that they allowed to do it. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's like Penn from Penn and Teller was one of the main. I think he was one of the producers. But it was, I guess they had to edit out, like their sound editor had to edit out him laughing. It's if you've heard him laugh on his podcast or any of his stuff, he has this crazy loud laugh, and it was, and he obviously digs this type of humor. It's for someone, which is why it's like this stuff doesn't exist to create a market for it. This stuff exists because there is a market for it and people want to laugh at it.
Exactly.
For sure.
Okay, so I guess we're going to kind of dive into the reason why you guys are here, and that's one of our favorite subjects to talk about, porn. Now, I'm kind of fortunate that I got a co-host now, because usually when it comes to porn, I have to do everything solo. So I'm glad I got a partner this time.
Sounds highly
I'm happy to help
masturbatory.
out. I am a Kyle replacement here after all, so I'm happy to help.
Yeah, well, I don't have sex with Kyle either, so that's something in common with him.
Maybe I can inspire you to change that. Who knows?
Well, you know what? Buy me a few drinks first. I may be cheap, but I'm not free. So tell us about your podcast here. I'm really curious what you guys actually do with this Two Girls and One Mic here.
So we do a couple things. So we review the holes and the plot holes of your favorite porn. So yes, we actually care about the continuity in pornography, cinematography, all the writing, all that fun stuff. But we also not only do that, but we also talk to people within the actual industry, try destigmatizing it and learning more about it. So that way our audience can learn overall, not only more about the industry itself, but to have better sex lives and, really understand what's going on with all these people that we're benefiting from, but not really talking to or about, and an entire industry that's kind of affecting everything from censorship laws to tax law to you name it, copyright. It's this huge thing that no one talks about.
I mean, and it was a great joke that started the podcast.
Yeah,
it was. I'd given, and I mean, Alice is the person who will make any. She's like, I see a thing that's funny, I can make this happen. And we were just like, we bounce ideas off of each other regularly. And I had just given a talk on why bad science in the movies is perfect.